Good morning, everyone. My name is Mary Ellen Graff, and I am here with my colleague Kim Davick, and Kim is going to start us off for today.
Good morning, everyone. We're so excited to share this session about supplementing the science of reading uh, within your libraries with TeachingBooks resources. So we have the ability now on TeachingBooks to use an exploratory to discover exceptional texts that support the science of reading instruction. So we'll be highlighting some of our key components on the site, um, asking for questions, giving you a little bit of time to search around. We're so happy to feature some of these newest features. You all have access, as you know, through the Indiana State Library Inspire program, and we're so thankful for that partnership. We'll have a certificate after that will pop right into, it'll come in your follow-up, and it will be in the chat for you to be able to take. So today I'm sorry, Mary Ellen, today we'll cover a few things like access and login. We'll show you how to search for titles that are part of our phonics filters and to see the components that are part of each filter and each search. We'll share different resources with you, show you how you can share them as well. We'll show you components of our early childhood collections. We'll give you a little bit of a hint of some things that are coming that are new too. You can be on the um, beginning stages of that. And then we'll also talk about help, support, and training that are always available for you. Marilyn, do you
Great.
want to switch over to the website?
I do want to switch over to the website. We've got some great resources, and we're going to start by just sort of warming up this morning by giving you an example of some of the sorts of resources you'll find on TeachingBooks, and then we'll transition to specifically how these can be used to support your reading curriculum. So I'm just going to look up a title. Alma and how she got her name. And you can see I didn't even hit enter, and I already have resources that are horizontally displayed across my screen. If you're a person that happens to be a automatic enter hitter, know that you're going to get the same. It's a word I made up, Kim. You'll get the same results, but just remember to scroll. So if you're a person who is typing in a subject search, you'll have to scroll down or not hit enter. But let's go to this wonderful book, Alma and How She Got Her Name, and we're just going to take a little listen to this Meet the Author recording, just to kind of get our brains in gear.
Hi, this is Juana Martinez Neal, and I am the author-illustrator of Alma and How She Got Her Name and Alma y Cómo Tuvo Su Nombre. Alma is my debut as an author-illustrator. I have been thinking about writing a story for a while, but I wasn't sure what to do. And this all started with telling the story of how I got my name, which is kind of a funny story, but eventually evolved into the story of Alma. And what I did is I incorporated my relatives, who I love, and some I met and some I didn't have a chance to meet in person, but I just heard about them from my parents and my grandparents. So Alma is the story of identity, pride in who you are, and love and family.
What a great way to start out. So Kim, I'm going to show the Inspire website, and then we'll come back to our site. So if you want to talk us through how and why we want to get logged in. So let me just switch to.
And Mary Ellen, we had a question in the chat. So when you're going to the Inspire platform, let's go ahead and scroll down because we did have a question about teaching book for schools and teaching books for libraries. And I was able to just explain, and it's right here for you to be able to see. It's the same database, just organized slightly differently. When we're talking about schools, we'll say things like students. You'll see things on lesson, things that are more, the language is school-based. When you're in the For Libraries platform, you will see patrons, readers, things will be organized in a way for library work. And so you have access through the state to every single thing that we have, and you can go in through either way.
So back to our site. Once you go through, if you go through the Indiana Inspire page, we're going to suggest that you go to the 3-line toggle menu, and I'll even back out. You'll see right now I'm at the Indiana Inspire. I'm logged in that way. I'm going to hit the 3-line toggle menu, and I'm going to hit log in. If your school has set up Clever or ClassLink or you're a Google school, you can choose those options. Regardless of whether you have those set up or not, you can use your work email and log in, and you'll know you're logged in as an educator when you see your name at the top of the screen. And Kim, do you want to explain what is the benefit of logging into this next level while I'm typing?
Absolutely. So the benefit of logging in as an educator, or if you're in the library platform, it will say as a professional, is that it allows you to be able to customize and save resources. So when patrons sign in or students in the school version sign in, they come in anonymously. When you saw Welcome Inspire at the top, that is a sign that you're not logged in as a professional or as an educator. You're able to save reading lists. You're able to use every one of our sharing features when you're signed in as a professional or as an educator. You're able to complete text complexities, save lessons, look at the book resumes, and you're able to, did I miss anything? Lists, lesson sharing, customized. Yep, that's what you're able to do. And so if you're not signed in at that level, like Mary Ellen is, welcome Mary Ellen, you will be prompted to do so. So it's not going to say, oh no, you don't get that. It will prompt you if you need another level of access.
And we suggest you use your work email. That will allow you to be connected with your district. If your district has chosen to have special features like posted lists for everyone or something like that. So let's get started with these wonderful opportunities that we have on TeachingBooks. I'm going to take you through. There's many different doors to find these things, but we're going to take you in the way that I think is most direct. If you use the browse feature on TeachingBooks, and we're specifically talking about finding books to partner with the lessons that you're teaching or the reading curriculums. And then I'm going to see all collections. Now, this is where you have to scroll down. Be patient. You just have to scroll a little bit, a little further, and you will see the phonics phonological awareness filters. This is a new project launched by TeachingBooks a few months ago, and we are having teachers review titles and tag that, so we can tag them and find books that are connected. So let's say we're teaching, let me see what I have in my notes, Short I. I have 251 titles that have been tagged with Short I. And I will see that I will find all of the resources here. And these are not just Short I in the title. It's rich throughout. They've been thought about and reviewed carefully. So let's choose Click, Clack, Moo, which I love. And Kim, I always say I'm going to have to teach my grandson what a typewriter is. Fortunately, we have an old one and he's already seen it. So Click, Clack, Moo. And I can scroll down a little bit and see all of the wonderful resources that I have here. First of all, I can start by making a puzzle out of the cover. And I'm just going to make a 4-piece puzzle because I don't want the pressure of a bigger puzzle.
I can never do a puzzle when I'm talking, so there you go.
But we can have those wonderful conversations we would have as we share a book cover with students. Do we see any letters we know? Do we see any words we know? All those wonderful conversations that you have. What do you think this book is about? Does anybody know what this thing the chicken's looking at is? All those great conversations, but you can break the cover into pieces so you can look at parts of it and focus their attention on certain sections of the cover as you're talking about that letter recognition. I did it, 4 pieces. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down to the book guides, activities, and lessons. And you'll see here the first square that will show up when the book has been tagged for a phonics phonological concept is a notice or a sort of a reminder of what it is. So this book is CK, CL, A, and Short I. And that's a great reminder. If I want to go in and look at the resources that are connected with these concepts, I can go in again. And now I'm at the printables section. And let's say I was doing that short I. And now I have some additional practice. I've got 4 sheets. These are great for students who are ready for more practice, for families who maybe want to do it together at home, different ways to reinforce. Kim, anything else about this particular book filter before we go on and show this in a few different ways?
And I just want to reiterate, Mary Ellen, you had said this, but these are being read. These titles are being read by librarians, by teachers looking for repetition examples. So you, in that particular case, I think it was CK, CL, short I, and short A. There will be multiples examples of that. So these titles would not, of course, take the place of decodables, but what they will do is provide multiple examples then of students being able to, your readers, your patrons being able to hear those sounds within another picture book or within another situation. Mary Ellen and I were talking yesterday about if I had this book, I might even use like a highlighter tape to highlight where some of those were, where some of those words were, just to have kiddos remember that, oh, I know this sound. So all sorts of tools for you here.
And in an ebook, like if you have the book on
Mhm.
Sora or another platform, there's highlighting tools. So you could have the student, as they read it, go in and highlight those examples. So as we're getting students excited about this book, maybe we're going to use the book trailer, or maybe we're going to share the book reading. So I'm going to open up this book trailer, and you'll see that it is embedded on the page. And you'll see this all over TeachingBooks. You'll see an arrow. This arrow is going to allow you to give this to students. So I'm going to choose the arrow, and I'm working with students where I might want to start at the top of this sharing box, set the sharing rules. Our default is that a student could go in after they've looked at the resource that I've shared and go on and explore the site. But Kim and I are team teaching, and we want students to just watch the trailer, and we don't want them wandering around the internet like I often do. So we're going to choose this resource only. I can grab this link, this share link. I can copy it, and I'll grab it so I can show you. Or I could create a shelf talker. And these shelf talkers are great because it's an automatic listening center. If the student brings their device, their Chromebook or their tablet, they can scan this, and they will scan this code and go right to that trailer. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like. You'll see on this page, it has a search box. It has some links up here. It has the ability to create a puzzle. But since I use that focus sharing, it's going to look like this. It's taken the search bar off. It's taken those tempting links and the other features underneath. So as I'm working with students, I can keep them there. Now, it might be a trailer that works for you. It might be something else. Some of the trailers are sing along, join in sorts of pieces. There's all different sorts of resources. So you can choose which ones will work best for you. I'm going to close a few tabs. Kim, should we try another example, or should we narrow a search maybe?
Let's narrow the search a little bit.
Let's say we're searching for animals. Now I've got my subject search. And like I said, if you're a person who hits enter, it'll show up way down on your screen. And now we've got our phonics and phonological awareness features. And maybe this time we're working with, let's try TH and just see. Animals that have TH throughout. And we can even go into the thank you book. And if we get the students excited about this book, maybe we can show them other Elephant and Piggy books that are part of the series. So we've got the resources, we've got the book guides, activities, and lessons, we've got that phonics, phonological awareness printables. And if I have a student that's maybe very comfortable with TH, they might be ready for the next thing, which might be a story map. Maybe I've got some students who are ready to talk about what's the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story. Or maybe I have a few students that are ready to talk about setting, character, problem, and solution. So I can use these multi-level lessons to teach the concept, phonics, phonological awareness concept, but I can also take students to the next place in their reading journey. And when I go in and save this, these multi-level lessons, having many students reading the same book, will allow students, you can fill it in digitally. With the younger ones, you might want to print it so they can draw. But you have the opportunity to use all of the lessons to create a rich experience that is connected phonologically with what you're talking about, but also then taking them the next place. So those are a few of the starting places for using TeachingBooks. And we've talked about logging in. Kim, should we give them a little bit if they're comfortable to open a new tab, or should we share some more?
I think we should go ahead and let them make sure that they can get in. We can do a little bit of troubleshooting. We won't pause totally to troubleshoot, but we'll pause for just a few minutes to get you signed in. So again, Beth popped into the chat window that the Inspire website, and I'll go ahead and pop that in again too, just so you see it at the top of the chat. But let's go ahead and have you sign in. So you'll go to the Inspire site and then scroll down to where you see TeachingBooks offered.
I was trying to open the Inspire site and I hit the wrong thing. There we go.
And I say, I know you have it open. Scroll down, you'll see whether or not you're in TeachingBooks for library. If you're up in a public library, I saw that mentioned for some of you, or if you're in schools, you can go ahead and go to the platform that you wish, and then go ahead and you'll get to that, to the site. The 3-line toggle menu will be on either platform, and then you would either sign in as log in as a professional if you're on the library site, or educator access if you're on the school site.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to make a puzzle. And when I get done making the puzzle, we'll check in and see how you're doing. Not too hard a one.
Oh, I think I see a pig. What sounds are in the word pig? We can have some conversations along this line. Oh, wait, have we read other titles by that author?
How do you say that name?
I wonder if there's a resource to learn how to say an author's name. If you're having any difficulty of getting logged in, please let us know in the chat. Otherwise, as soon as Mary Ellen finishes our puzzle, we're going to move into the next section where Mary Ellen's going to showcase a few other features. Aw.
Pause to see, are there any questions or anyone who is having?
I don't
Okay.
see anything in the chat window. So
Once you are logged in, one of the advantages is that you can start to create lists that will work for you. So I'm going to show you another way to get to the phonics filters, and it is simply by typing the word phonics. And then you will see the phonics and phonological awareness collection. So I'm going to open this up, And we can start maybe building lists that we can share on literacy night. Now, the key to building lists is this plus icon. You're going to see it at the top of a search. You'll see it on each individual book cover. So I'm going to open up the phonics phonological awareness filters. And I'm going to say that I am building a list for short E. Actually, I want to do a blend. I want to do for FL. It's thinking, it's looking to see which books are tagged. So now I have 14 books that have FL in it. And these look fun. These look like I'm going to have a good time reading these with my students, and I want to share them out on literacy night. First thing I'm going to do is choose this plus icon that says add multiple titles to reading list. And I am going to start a new list. Now, as I have this up, I'm going to see which copies do I have access to. So maybe I can quickly cross-check. We have availability in my library collection, and I have these books in my library, in my classroom library or my school library. I'm going to add to the list, and I'm going to call this Family Fun Reads with FL, because I'm making it for my literacy night and I want them to know. So I'm going to add to the list. And when I go in and view, I have a Family Fun Reads list that are FL. These are books that they could maybe borrow from me. They're books they could look for at their library. They could practice and enjoy reading and reinforcing the concepts that we're learning in the classroom or library. To share this with them, I'm going to use the share arrow. And I said the share arrow is all over the site. On a list, you need to look way to the left and at the top. It's just below the TeachingBooks logo. When I click on that, you'll notice some things that you saw before. You'll see that on this particular, when you share a list, you're not going to have that focused sharing option. And that's just because we're sharing a list that has a lot of different resources, so we can't narrow it down. But I'm going to create a bookmark. These can be out with a display as I'm setting out books for people to peruse, and families could then pick up a bookmark to take with them.
Before you leave, Mary Ellen, just if anybody happens to have their phone, just go ahead and scan that QR code while we're here, because you'll see how it allows you to go right in on your phone to whatever we've shared. So you created this bookmark, a family could go home, or a kiddo can take this home after coming to story time, and they scan this, they'll go right to all of those titles with all of those resources that you've shared with them. And then Mary Ellen, before we go on, when we're on that share page, I want to showcase something else that came up in the chat. So the question that was popped into the chat window is, are we able to share these resources on Facebook or in social media? Absolutely. And they'll be formatted for you. So not only will you have printables or other digital platforms, these are set ready to go. Your access allows you the permissions to share with anyone. And we want everyone in the state of Indiana, everyone, to have access to all these beautiful resources that go along with the titles that you're using. So freely share.
So you can create those lists yourself, but wait, there's more. If we go to the 3-line toggle menu, you'll find your lists, but you're going to see some other great lists too. So I'm going to go to the reading lists, and you'll see here, if you're logged in as an educator, you'll see your school district. And if your school district has a collection of trade books they use to support their reading programs, let us know and we can post it here for your whole district. And I'll show you an example of that. So in the way I'm logged in, which is at the highest level, you can see the Smokies reading list is mine. But this is where those great Indiana lists are as well, all ready for you. Are you working with the Firefly list, the early literacy Firefly list right here? All ready for you? We can make a bookmark. It's going to have that cute little firefly on it. I was going to call it a bee. It's a firefly. It's a firefly word. I can also look for lessons and resources that go with these books there, so we can share that. We have the share arrow. I'm going to again go to the 3-line toggle menu, your reading list. So we have your district lists, the Indiana list, and then we have the list that we just created. And no one else can see my lists unless I decide to share. So as you're building a list, it's yours. And there's a lot more that can happen with lists, but we were talking about supplementing to support your reading programs. And one of the examples that I know is used in Indiana in some districts, because we know every district has its own plan, is the Amplify CKLA list. So you can see we have a sample list. These collections of titles are often selected by your district specifically, which is why it's great to communicate with us, and we'll put our emails up there because we can post it. And then when your teachers go to use those supplemental trade books, did I say that right? Those trade books that support your reading curriculum, you can have the lists that apply to you, the ones that your district has purchased, posted for everyone, and they'll have those additional resources. And in this collection, so in this CKLA kindergarten collection, I haven't done this before, but let's just see. It has some examples of short A books that we've tagged. There are a lot more books on the site than we have tagged. It takes time, and it will continue. That collection will continue to grow.
I think it's a perfect time to say too, when you have these programs, there are often decodable texts that come along with them, right? Those decodable texts are used within instruction for that explicit learning of the sounds. And so then there are often titles like these lists that go along with that extend instruction in different ways. They'll have different features that are used either whole group or in smaller groups or just extended books. What we're trying to do also then is go through and find additional titles then that extend that explicit instruction of those that happens in decodables. So we won't very often have a decodable text on the site. Those they have a very specific and important purpose. Now we're looking at using picture books, using other books to expand instruction.
Speaking of picture books, Kim, talking about the rich vocabulary that is in picture books, I'm just going to model a search for picture books. And if you want to explain what we were talking about yesterday.
Absolutely. Like I was just diving into that whole conversation about you have your decodables for that explicit phonics awareness instruction. Now we're going to dive in and showcase just a few other ways that we want to use picture books, either for your read alouds, for story times, depending on your role. These titles then allow that. It's the other side of the reading rope, right? It's the language comprehension piece about building background knowledge, having everyone on the same page with seeing what's in a text, having depth and breadth of vocabulary. I just read an article and darn it all, I was going to pull it up, but it talked about how with picture books, you have deeper, richer vocabulary than most of us have in our regular conversation. So no matter how rich the conversation you're having at home or you're having in the classroom, picture books allow additional experiences with a vocabulary. And so it allows us to expand that. And I just thinking about that daily read aloud or your story times, those are the cornerstones, right? Cornerstones of instruction. It allows you that deep and rich and expansive experience with vocabulary, rigor, validity, and very important. So sometimes what happens is we can feel that all of my instruction has to be with the decodables, but that experience with the read alouds and experience with these picture books does have that validity. So now I'm going to step down off of that soapbox.
Well, and I'm just going to show an example. I'm going to narrow by
we all know this, right?
third,
Okay, go
fourth
ahead.
grade, which most students by that time are reading chapter books, diving into that. But let's go to third, fourth grade and then narrow by science just to see. Oh, I don't want genre, I want curricular area.
Well, and it's so important too, Mary Ellen, because we want to read across all content areas. We want to explore and have in all genres, just like she's saying right now. And so then we get the opportunity to use these filters in that way too. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, perfect. And so I chose third, fourth grade science, and now we have a book with rich text. And if I want to see what the text looks like, I can use the ebook preview before I run down to see if it's in the library. And oh, sorry, this one is not found here. Chose the wrong one. But if we do have it, the ebook sample will be there so you can preview it. But we also have the book resume. I can use this book resume to go in and see what are the recommended grades and ages from these authoritative sources. What is the Lexile account? Lexile level. I may have some third graders reading at 8:30, but this would be maybe a better read aloud because that's sophisticated vocabulary. And then I have the reviews. These are from authoritative resources across the country. You've got the whole review, and these are what librarians use. If you are a librarian, you'll know. If you're a teacher, this was new to me. These are the authoritative resources that review the books, and you have it all in one place. You also have the awards and distinctions this book has won, as well as where it has been featured across the country. In Indiana, 2 different options, and it was even recommended as a read aloud. So you have that information as you're choosing books to add as those cornerstones to your conversations, as you are enriching and supporting the curriculum materials in different ways. Great books are what get kids excited about reading. I think, Kim, you said, there's the how to read and then there's the why to read. And interest matters. And topics of interest makes a big difference. Any other things you want to point out about this book resume, Kim?
Nothing else about the book resume. Oh, one thing, that was a FIP. This is another one of those resources that you'll need to be signed in as a professional or as an educator to see. So it will prompt you if you click that and you are not signed in. So it will just remind you. Mary Ellen, did you show, I was answering some questions in the chat. Did you show, I know you showed where lists are. Did you show where if they created like that story map where those show up too?
I did not, but
Okay.
it's very similar. It's under the 3-line toggle menu. You'll see your lessons, but you won't see it until you've created one yourself. And then it will show up and you'll have your lessons. I have lots of them for Indiana.
And I just want to stay here for a second. So Mary Ellen showed us that we could make that story map. We have the 3 levels so we can differentiate instruction within a similar text, the same text. We also had those printables that go along or other lessons, which allow you really to be able to differentiate instruction. So if you want to use one book with all your readers, you have multiple opportunities from the story map in multiple levels, the printables, depending on what your readers need. That's the beauty of being able to search all these resources in one place. So you have what you need for your readers to expand and extend the great literacy work that you're doing.
I said there were many doors to find this. So we showed you how to find it through browse. We showed you how it showed up on a search. There's also a term that can help you look at all of the early childhood resources in one place, and it is the word early. Funny how that works. And you'll see on the right side of the screen, the early childhood. And here you will see our collections. So we have all the early childhood. If you're ready and stepping into working with beginning and early readers, you can explore that collection. Or we've got all our concept books. And then as I scroll down even further, and if I click on any of these, which I will in a minute, it will give me all the titles that fit into that category. You'll see that phonics and phonological awareness. And from here, I can choose, like I demonstrated earlier. You can find the printables, and you can find the connection to our early childhood standards page, and then teaching ideas. Now, teaching ideas for early childhood, you can come in through this way, or you can search teaching ideas in the search bar as well. But here we are, teaching ideas. So as you're getting ready to go back to school, we've got what we call timely topics. These are posted about once a month, and I'm excited because we have not only back to school, around the world with books, Hispanic Heritage Month, Let's Dance National Day, International Sign Language Day, and Fruits and Veggies Month. I don't know whether to eat a carrot or dance or both. But you have them right here, and here you'll find, let's look at fruits and veggies, that we've pulled together some resources so that you can take them and use them the way that they work best for you. You can share this with your colleagues. You can share it with your families. You can copy and paste a section if you feel like it's relevant. You can choose what works for you. The other way to get to teaching ideas, you can type teaching ideas in the search box, or you can choose for educators, and it's right there.
Marilyn, will you show those the early childhood instructional support section? So we pulled some ideas about alliteration, counting syllables, playing with rhyme that are in that same sort of format, just some different routines and things like that that are there. You can also share those too. So some different ideas about rhyme and alliteration, syllables, and we're continuing to add as well.
So, Kim, we have just a few more minutes. I want to let people know, I'm going to show them where to find help, and then maybe you can talk about the connections to the Overdrive organization.
Absolutely. I do want to, before I move into that component, I do want to mention that where Marilyn showed you, if you search for early childhood and you can see all of the different accordions that will open in that section, we're adding to that. You're going to be one of the first little groups that know that we're going to add in some instructional routines that go along with phonemic awareness instruction. And so know that there are some more components. We love hearing from you, knowing how these resources support and assist you. So never hesitate to reach out with ideas to Mary Ellen or myself too. We love hearing that. So while Mary Ellen is going to help and support, I'm also going to show that you have access to everything through TeachingBooks. And some of you, whether at your public library or in your school district, might use Sora in the public library or Libby. TeachingBooks joined Overdrive, and so we're looking for more and more ways. We have many different integrations now. So if you have any questions about connections to Sora or connections to Libby, you can reach out about that as well. And Marianne will pop a little link in the chat too if you have questions about that. But what we have are some of the different collections, because as you know, TeachingBooks is resources for the books that you're using. So whether you're using a print book or you're using an ebook, those resources are important for any version of a text.
We have a question that says, how can homeschool parents use this? Yes, 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 yes. And they can log in using their personal email. If they do it at your library, they may show up connected with your library. If they do it from their home, it will be part of the Indiana resident experience, and they will be able to, homeschool families will be able to use all the tools that we've shared. We never collect student data, but an adult, yes.
So that parent or that caregiver could create a professional account for homeschool families, and then have resources, have lessons saved if they choose. If they're wanting their child to log in themselves, and they probably would want to go in the anonymous way, so that because they're not going to share in the same way. We don't collect that data. Does that make sense? And it will ask if you're under 18 too, if you're over 18.
And since we have so many people in the public library, I'm just going to choose the toggle menu, and I'm going to show you what TeachingBooks for Libraries looks like. It looks very much the same, except it's blue. But you'll see that instead of for students, it says for readers. There is even a section, and I may have to log in. Oh, if I go here, homeschool support, that is a feature that will talk you through many of the questions that homeschool families will have.
The
So
search bar is over on the far right here where you see the magnifier. So if you wanted to search for early childhood here, you'd pull that up here and you'd do those same kind of tools that or same kind of searches that we did. That's the difference is where's that search bar again?
I always have to look for it. I said I was going to talk about help. We're here and training is included. If you are excited about this and want to set up a meeting for your homeschool families in your public library or your group of teachers at your school, contact us through the website. We have our emails out there, but this will work as well. If you lose our email or don't remember it, I went to help and contact us, and Kim and I will be happy to set up a training for you. But if you want to do more learning on your own, we've got video tutorials. We talked about custom reading lists. We talked about logging it as an educator or a professional. We talked about sharing resources. This is where you can come and refresh on what we've shown you today. We have not talked about Text Complexity Toolkit, which is a wonderful resource as well. And then we also have what we call 2-minute takeaways. I love these. They're 2 minutes, sometimes 2.5. But they are an opportunity to think about teaching books with a specific lens. If you're an elementary teacher, if you're a high school teacher, if you want to know more about those multi-level lessons, which we touched briefly on, 2 minutes about the puzzles and games, or finding readers' theater scripts, or how to teach older students to use Discover Like Books, or for you to use it to help your student or child find more books. So there's so many more pieces. I found those under help. You'll see contact us, video tutorials. And once I go into the video tutorials, there's the basic tutorials and a section below called 2-minute takeaways. Kim, any last, I see you put the certificate for everyone in the window. Are there any other things that you want us to bring forward today for this wonderful group from Indiana?
I don't see anything else in the chat window, so I don't have anything else to share other than Mary Ellen, if you could go ahead and put the slides back up so they can see. I put our emails in the chat, but if they have any questions at any time or have any support questions, just let us know. And then I think what we could do is turn off the recording.
You say that like it's easy.
And then if people have questions, they can certainly let us know.